Tonight, we witness the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, a storm whose impact will be felt for generations to come. This was a storm that has rewritten the record books for Jamaica, shattering expectations and leaving a mark on history. This was no ordinary hurricane. Melissa's approach was swift, relentless, and terrifying, catching many off guard. Melissa exploded into a Category 5 monster, the strongest ever to strike the island in over 170 years. Its sheer size and power were unlike anything seen before in the region. On October 28, it made landfall near New Hope, unleashing winds of 185 miles per hour and a storm surge that devastated entire communities, sweeping away homes and livelihoods in a matter of hours. The storm's arrival was a moment of collective dread, as homes, infrastructure, and lives were torn apart in hours. Families huddled together, hoping for safety as the winds howled outside. Melissa is a brutal reminder of our changing climate. Fueled by warming oceans, these storms are growing stronger and more unpredictable, threatening communities that once felt secure. Scientists have warned of rapid intensification, and now, we see the consequences. Catastrophic damage and human tragedy on a scale that challenges our ability to respond. As the island begins to recover, stories of survival and resilience emerge, but so do urgent questions about preparedness, adaptation, and the uncertain future that lies ahead. Hurricane Melissa is a wake-up call for stronger infrastructure, better emergency planning, and a global conversation on climate action that can no longer be delayed. The lessons from Melissa must be learned, quickly, if we are to protect our communities and our future from storms yet to come. Hurricane Melissa's assault on the Caribbean was swift and merciless, catching many off guard with its sudden escalation. Meteorologists had been tracking the storm for days, but few could have predicted just how quickly it would intensify into a major hurricane. After rapidly intensifying, it slammed into Jamaica's southwest coast, unleashing torrential rain, violent winds, and massive waves that battered the shoreline. Entire communities were left reeling as homes and infrastructure crumbled in its wake. Even as it crossed the island's rugged mountains and weakened to a Category 3, the damage was already done. Rivers overflowed, landslides blocked roads, and thousands were left without power or shelter. By October 29th, Melissa was still packing 125 mph winds as it moved toward Cuba, threatening millions more with its relentless force and unpredictable path. Warnings stretched from Haiti to the Bahamas and even Bermuda, as the storm's massive reach put the entire region on alert. Emergency services scrambled to prepare, urging residents to take shelter and brace for impact. The interaction with land disrupted Melissa's core, but spread destruction far and wide. The storm's outer bands brought heavy rain and flooding to areas hundreds of miles from the eye. For Jamaica, the worst had already struck. For Cuba and neighboring islands, the threat was just beginning. Anxiety and uncertainty gripped communities as they prepared for the storm's arrival. The crisis was far from over. Melissa's path meant more storm surge, flooding, and destructive winds ahead. Many wondered how much more the region could endure. The Caribbean braced for the next phase of this relentless storm, as families fortified their homes and hoped for the best. Melissa's legacy would be felt across borders, a stark reminder of nature's power and the resilience of those who face it. In Jamaica, the aftermath is devastation on a national scale. St. Elizabeth Parish is nearly underwater, with storm surge and rainfall turning towns into lakes. Roads are impassable, and the official death toll is expected to rise as rescue teams struggle to reach isolated areas. Over 500,000 lost power, plunging the island into darkness and crippling communications. Hospitals were hit hard. One major facility lost all power, forcing the emergency evacuation of critical patients. Homes and businesses lie in ruins, roads are blocked by landslides, and bridges have been washed away. Though the storm has moved on, the danger isn't over. Storm surge and flooding still threaten battered communities. Jamaica faces a long, uncertain road to recovery. Melissa's destruction didn't stop at Jamaica. Haiti and the Dominican Republic were battered by torrential rains and winds, triggering deadly floods and mudslides. In Haiti, 3 lives were lost. In the Dominican Republic, 1 dead and another missing. The storm's reach extended for hundreds of miles, causing chaos far from its center. As Melissa moved toward Cuba, the government launched one of its largest evacuations ever. Over 735,000 people moved to safety. Authorities braced for a storm surge up to 12 feet, and rainfall that could trigger catastrophic landslides. The entire region waited anxiously, knowing Melissa's power was far from spent. The Caribbean's vulnerability was laid bare. Cuba's response to Melissa was swift and organized. Nearly 750,000 people were evacuated from high-risk areas in a massive, coordinated effort. The government mobilized transportation, opened shelters, and urged citizens to secure homes and livestock. The focus: save lives from the deadly threat of storm surge and flooding. Forecasts warned of up to 12 feet of surge and over 20 inches of rain, especially in mountainous regions. Cuba's civil defense system, honed by decades of hurricane experience, was put to the test. As night fell, eastern Cuba waited, prepared, but anxious, for Melissa's arrival. The nation hoped its preparations would be enough. What fueled Hurricane Melissa's explosive power? Warm ocean water, heated by the relentless sun. Hurricanes are heat engines, and as oceans warm, storms grow stronger and intensify faster. Feeding off the increased heat, human-driven climate change has supercharged the world's oceans, providing storms with more energy than ever before, making them more destructive. Melissa rapidly intensified from a tropical storm to a Category 5 in record time, one of several such storms this year, breaking previous records. Warmer seas mean hurricanes can reach higher peak intensities and do so with alarming speed, causing unprecedented damage. The link is clear. As global temperatures rise, so does the risk of catastrophic storms, threatening coastal communities. Melissa's record-breaking strength is not an outlier. It's a symptom of a changing climate, a warning of what's to come. The storms of the future are here now, and they're more dangerous than ever, posing a significant threat to life and property. The science is undeniable. The consequences, immediate. We must act now to mitigate these effects. In the wake of Melissa, the world has responded with offers of aid for Jamaica. International organizations and governments are mobilizing to deliver food, water, medical supplies, and shelter. Restoring power and communications is critical to reconnect families and coordinate relief. Clearing roads and repairing infrastructure will take weeks, if not months. Melissa is a harsh lesson in the need for preparedness. Cuba's evacuation saved lives, while less prepared areas suffered greater losses. As storms grow stronger, investing in resilient infrastructure and natural defenses is essential. The story of Melissa is a call for unity, urgent climate action, and building a safer future. Recovery will be long, but it must spark real change, so this devastation does not become the new normal.